Negotiators for the U.S. and Mexico were back at the table in an effort to reach a deal before tariffs go into effect on Monday.
NBC's Craig Boswell has more now from Washington.
Brian and Sue, in talks and actions, Mexican officials have been trying to demonstrate to President Trump that they are serious about securing the border.
Mexican soldiers blocked hundreds of migrants, including families, crossing into southern Mexico bound for the U.S. border. Just one example of what Mexico says it is doing to cut off illegal immigration at the border. But President Trump says it is not enough, threatening to punish Mexico with tariffs beginning Monday.
We've told Mexico the tariffs go on, and I mean it too.
The president, traveling in Europe, dismissed Republican opposition in Congress.
And a lot of people, senators included, they have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to tariffs.
In Washington, U.S. and Mexican negotiators talk for a second day.
Oh, yes, we have been making progress.
But so far, no deal.
We need Mexico to do more. And our hope is, as these discussions continue, that Mexico will step up.
The threatened 5% tariffs escalate to 25% by October, increasing costs for American consumers, not just on fruits and veggies from Mexico. The U.S. imports cars, blue jeans, TVs, and medical equipment.
Mexico is our strongest, our biggest market for export of goods and services from the United States. And my argument is, why mess that up when it's going so well?
On another front.
But I think China wants to make a deal badly.
But the president threatened China with more tariffs, potentially piling on an additional $300 billion.
You mean, when am I going to put the extra $325 billion worth of tariffs? I will make that decision, I would say, over the next 2 weeks.
Trade talks between Washington and Beijing collapsed last month.
The president will be meeting with his Chinese counterpart at the G20 meeting later this month. In Washington, I'm Craig Boswell, 24-Hour News 8.
Threatened tariffs by President Trump against products coming into the country from Mexico have many in Congress worried, including Southwest Michigan Congressman Fred Upton.
24-Hour News 8 political reporter Rick Albin spoke with Upton about the prospects of those tariffs that could go as high as 25%. Rick.
Congressman Upton used no uncertain terms in describing the tariffs proposed by the White House. It's bad news for the auto industry and other manufacturers that import parts and supplies from Mexico, and particularly bad, he says, for Michigan.
For Michigan, the Chamber of Commerce reported we are the second most impacted state in terms of negative impact with tariffs. Most of our citizens understand it. This is a tax on them because with a tariff, we are gonna pay increased costs because that price is gonna have to go up. Seeing a tariff come starting at 5% as early as next week, going up to 25% by October 1st is not a good thing for Michigan.
Now, as you heard earlier, the president says unless Mexico helps reduce the number of people flocking to the Mexico-U.S. border, the tariffs will go on place on Monday. Upton says he thinks that Congress will push back if that happens.